Hello everyone and welcome to our channel, Doom Productions. We make movies and videos about films and filmmaking, and today we are talking about a subject that I haven't seen discussed a whole lot in the filmmaking sphere on YouTube. And that is, when do you know that you're done with your movie? Now, it's really fun to start making a movie, starting anything creative. It's the initial idea, it's the seed of inspiration that propels you to create, and you can imagine what it's like, what it's going to be in your head, so you're really motivated to begin working and start creating. But finishing is even more important. It's a lot easier to start something rather than finish. Take screenplay writing. There's lots of people out there who want to become screenwriters, but they can't even get past a first draft of anything. And it's a struggle that a lot of artists face with any medium, painting, drawing, cinema, or music, anything like that. Starting something is always so easy. No one needs to tell you how to start something, because if you have an idea, you just do it. You just hop on that train of inspiration. You get going. You grab your pen and paper. You grab your camera. You grab your drawing tools. You grab your pencils, your paint, whatever you need to start creating. Finishing something, though, is a whole lot different. I'm not going to be talking about the filmmaking process in terms of shooting or the production process. What I will be talking about is after you've shot your movie, after you've edited your movie, or edited as much of the movie as you can, when do you know you're done editing? And that's a really important question that I'm not sure a lot of people know how to answer. This isn't even a definitive answer. There is no right or wrong answer, but this is how I would kind of interpret that. This is how I would approach the subject. When I think about, I'm sitting down at my editing station. I actually have I'm working on my next movie right now, Two Little Ghosts. It's pulled up right here on the timeline. And I've been editing this for about a month now, because the last day of principal photography was October 30th, if I believe correct. No, October 29th was our last day of principal photography. And I've been editing it, chipping away at it. I've noticed things that I've wanted to change, so I've gone out and reshot some things. I've also been animating some sequences at the same time. It's consumed a lot of time, but I'm also not dedicating 100% of my time to this. When I was working on Video Carnage, I had days and days and days and hours and hours and hours to spend purely on Video Carnage. Right now, I am working full time. I'm making YouTube videos, making podcasts. I'm working on other YouTube channels. I'm working on other things creatively. So not a lot of my time is spent towards Two Little Ghosts. Maybe a couple hours every week. But here's the good news for everyone patiently waiting for Two Little Ghosts. It is 98% done. It is so close to being complete and finished. So there's the good news for all you who are staying tuned. So when will I know that I'm done with this movie? Well, taking a step back away from Two Little Ghosts, the way that I look at it is I know I'm done with the project when every major flaw that is changeable has been changed. And I've minimized the amount of minor flaws, and I've come to acceptance with the major flaws that I can't change. So there's a lot of things going on there. A minor flaw is, something that's a little, chip in the armor. It's a little nick in your film. It's not something huge that everybody would notice, but it's something you notice and it bothers you. It might be something that bothers you a little bit, might be something that bothers you a little bit more. It kind of depends on the film, the project that you're working on, and all that. But that would be a minor problem. And every film has minor little flaws. And when I say the term flaws, it is purely subjective. I think you, as the filmmaker, you know what a flaw is in your movie more than anyone. So a minor flaw could be something like, the continuity between shots wasn't quite right. Or it could be something like, the line delivery that I had from this character, from this actor, wasn't how I imagine it, and I don't have any other coverage. That could be a minor flaw. It could be a major flaw to other filmmakers. A major flaw, I would say, is something that when you watch it, it makes you coil back. It makes you cringe. It makes you go, oh my gosh, that's terrible. That's awful. I need to get rid of it. I need to change that. And again, there's no real way to quantify what a major flaw is because it depends on the filmmaker. For Video Carnage, giving a real life example for my filmography, Video Carnage, sound was a pretty major, difficult obstacle. And it was something that, well, I've been over this before. It was something that I knew I could change, but because of where I was at, I mentally, I couldn't change it. Physically, yeah, I could change it. I could have spent a whole lot of more time editing it, but that's kind of the point where I'm getting to. Some flaws are would take so much work, take so much energy from you. It's better to kind of just take the L and move on and learn from your mistakes. But anyways, sound was a major flaw on Video Carnage, in my opinion. The way we recorded it, the way I was kind of doing it. If you want to know more about it, we have some videos on our channel about the whole experience. But sound was a flaw, and it was something that I really couldn't change. Again, it was something that, obviously I could change, but creatively, mentally, where I was at the time, I couldn't change it. And so, when you come to those major flaws that you can't really change, it's okay to move on. Your movie doesn't have to be perfect. That's the whole part of the filming process, is learning and creating and doing it better on the next time. So Two Little Ghosts has much better sound than Video Carnage. But going back to a flaw that you can change, a flaw that you can change, a major flaw that you can change, that would be something like, for instance, the pacing of your movie. If your scenes aren't flowing together right, if the way you've constructed the edit of your movie, there's no real transitions between scenes. Things just kind of happen one after another. There's no rhythm. There's no sense of kind of orchestrating this movement of emotions and manipulating everything on the edit timeline. Pacing is a pretty major flaw if you get that wrong for any movie, but it's totally changeable and fixable. Now, of course, you might not have filmed enough footage, and that's another thing to consider, is going out and grabbing more footage to help the pacing. Is that worth it? Is that worth making your movie better? And that's, again, going back to Video Carnage, spending more time on that project would have been detrimental to my mental health. And so, I could have spent more time on the sound design of the movie, but ultimately, you're more important than your movie. I know it's kind of hard to hear. You're a filmmaker. You're used to caring about your movie more than you're caring about yourself. But you are more important than your movie. And sometimes you need to just let your movie have its flaws. Accept that. Because every movie has flaws. Some more flaws than others, some less flaws than others. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it's okay to let your movie suffer so you as a creative can learn from the experience and do better on the next one. And that's kind of the whole realm where it's up to you as a filmmaker. I'm talking about this from my experience, but you might have a different experience about this. And this is just the way I look at it. So to kind of wrap it up in kind of an easy answer, your movie's done when you've eliminated as many minor flaws as you can. And that it's done when all of the major flaws that are within your ability to change have been changed when those are done. And you've accepted that the major flaws or the minor flaws that you can't really change, they're just going to be in your movie. Your movie's just going to have those flaws. That's when I think your movie is done. Now, we can sit and tinker and mess around with things a whole bunch. Every now and then I'll jump into Two Little Ghosts. I'll tinker around with things. The movie's pretty much locked. The movie's pretty much ready to go, but there's little things I've been changing here and there, and I could do this forever. I completely understand why George Lucas has gone back and re-edited his movies famously. And they're his movies, that's totally within his right to do that. I think that's a cool thing. And I think there's nothing wrong with releasing future versions of your movie. Francis Ford Coppola's done the same thing. With The Godfather Part 3 and Apocalypse Now, he's done 2 other versions of that movie. And again, you're an artist, so there's no real rules about what you can and can't do. Who's to say that your movie has to ever be done? I don't think any movie is ever really done, but when is it ready? Maybe the better question is to ask yourself, when is my movie ready to be seen? When am I ready to hit export and upload it to YouTube or submit it to a festival? And I would say, again, just reiterating, when all those major flaws are taken care of, when all those minor flaws as many of them are eliminated, and you accept the flaws that you can't change. And that's what I would say. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. If you found this video interesting, hit like, hit subscribe. Stay tuned for Two Little Ghosts. Super, super, super close to getting it done. I'm excited for everyone to check it out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.